Welcome to Learning AI Keywords Fast Track, LL. Today, we'll explore the smart technology behind tools like chatbots and AI writers. Have you ever asked an AI to write an email or explain a topic? Then you've already used a large language model without even knowing it. In this session, we'll break down what LLMs are, how they work, and how you can use them smarter. No tech background needed, just curiosity. Let's begin our journey into the world of powered language. Let's take a quick tour of what's ahead. First, we'll answer the big question, what is an LLM? Then we'll dive into how these models learn from massive amounts of text, like reading every book in a library. You'll discover key terms like tokens and prompts, which are essential for getting good results from AI. We'll also clear up common myths, such as whether AI really understands what it says. After that, we'll explore real uses like writing emails or simplifying complex ideas. Finally, you'll get hands-on practice and tips for continuing your AI journey. This roadmap ensures you build knowledge step by step with no jargon overload. Ready to get started? Let's move to the basics. So, what exactly is an LLM? Simply put, a large language model is a smart system designed to understand and create text that sounds human. Think of it as the brain inside many AI tools you probably use, like chatbots or writing assistants. Now, here's the key. LLMs don't think or understand meaning like we do. Instead, they're expert pattern detectors. They've been trained on huge amounts of text, everything from novels to Wikipedia articles, and learned how words usually fit together. For example, if you type "the sky is," the model knows blue is the likely next word. It's like your phone's autocomplete, but imagine it's read millions of books and mastered grammar, tone, and style. This ability lets LLMs power tools like Grammarly, ChatGPT, and Google Bard. When you ask for help writing, summarizing, or explaining something, it's the LLM doing the heavy lifting. It's the LLM doing the heavy limb, doing the hats for help writing, summarize, doing the heavy lifting. It's the explaining something. It's the LLM doing the heavy lifting. So remember, an LLM isn't a mind, it's a very advanced prediction machine. Now let's look at how an LLM learns. Imagine you had to read every single book in a massive library, from fiction to science, textbooks to blogs. As you read more, you'd start to notice patterns. You'd learn that once upon a time often starts a story, or that conclusion usually comes at the end of an essay. That's exactly how an LLM learns, but at a much bigger scale. These models are trained on billions of sentences from sources like books, news sites, and websites. But here's the important part. They don't memorize facts. They don't have a memory like we do. Instead, they build a kind of statistical map of how words tend to go together. So when someone asks, "Who wrote Hamlet?" the model doesn't remember Shakespeare. It calculates that Shakespeare's is the most likely answer based on countless texts where those two words appear together. This means LLMs can sound knowledgeable without actually knowing anything. And that leads to a big limitation. Sometimes they guess wrong, especially if the correct answer isn't common in their training data. So always double check important facts. Let's keep going and explore how language break down language into smaller pieces called tokens. Let's talk about tokens, the Lego blocks of AI language. When you type a message to an AI, it doesn't read the sentence as a whole. Instead, it breaks your text into small chunks called tokens. Most of the time, a token is a word like dog, run, or today. But sometimes longer words get split. For example, unhappiness might become 3 tokens, unhappy, and ness. This helps the model understand and process language more efficiently. Now, why does this matter? because every AI system has a limit on how many tokens it can handle at once. Think of it like a speed limit for conversation. If your message uses too many tokens, the AI might cut off the response or skip parts. Also, more tokens mean more computing power, which can affect speed and cost, especially in business tools. Here's a helpful tip. Shorter, clearer messages often lead to faster, better responses. So if you're asking an AI for help, try to be concise. For instance, instead of writing a long paragraph, say, explain climate change simply, fewer tokens, clear intent, better result. Now that we've broken down language, let's talk about how you guide the AI using prompts. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful tools you have when using AI, the prompt. A prompt is simply what you type into your question, request, or instruction. Think of it like giving directions. If you say go somewhere nice, your friend might not know what you mean. But if you say take me to the nearest park for a walk, it's much clearer. The same goes for a weak prompt like tell me about space is too vague. The AI might give you a long, messy answer covering everything from stars to rockets. But a strong prompt like explain space exploration to a 10-year-old in 3 sentences gives the AI clear guidance, who the audience is, how long the answer should be, and the tone to use. This leads to a much better result. You can also add details like in bullet points or with a friendly tone to shape the output. The key idea is this: the AI is only as good as your prompt. So take a moment to think before typing. Ask yourself, what do I want? Who is this for? How detailed should it be? With practice, you'll get better at crafting prompts that get exactly what you need. Let's now look at a common issue. Even smart AI can get things wrong. Here's something important to know. I can confidently tell you something that's completely made up. This is called a hallucination. Now, don't worry, the AI isn't daydreaming. It just means the model is generating text that sounds right, even if it's not true. Remember, LLMs don't know facts. They predict what words should come next based on patterns. So if you ask who discovered gravity, it will likely say Isaac Newton because that pairing appears constantly in its training data. But if you ask about a lesser-known topic, it might fill in gaps with a plausible-sounding but fake answer. For example, it might invent a scientist named Dr. Elena Torres, who published a study in 2023, even though no such person or paper exists. And it might say it with total confidence. That's why it's crucial to treat like a smart assistant, not a fact checker. Always double-check important information, especially numbers, names, dates, or legal advice. Think of it like using Wikipedia. You can get great ideas, but you still need to verify. The good news? Once you know about hallucinations, you can use AI more wisely. Just stay curious, stay skeptical, and always ask, does this make sense? Now, let's look at some real ways you can use LLMs every day. Let's bring this all together with real-life uses. LLMs aren't just for tech experts. They can help anyone save time and communicate better. One of the most common uses is drafting emails. Ever stared at a blank screen, unsure how to start? Just type a quick prompt like write a polite email asking for a meeting next week. The AI will generate a clean, professional draft you can tweak and send. Another great use is explaining complex ideas simply. Maybe you're studying biology or reading a technical report. Ask the AI. Explain photosynthesis like I'm 10 years old. It will break it down using everyday language and fun comparisons like calling plants nature's chefs who cook food using sunlight. You can also use LLMs to summarize long content. Paste a news article or meeting notes and say, summarize in 3 bullet points. Instant clarity. These tools don't replace your judgment, they enhance it. You stay in control using AI as a helper, not a replacement. And the more you practice, the better you'll get at guiding the AI to do what you need. Ready to try it yourself? Let's move to a hands-on exercise. It's time to get hands-on. Open any free AI tool like ChatGPT, Google Bard, or Hugging Face and try this exercise. First, pick a task, say, planning a birthday party. Now write a vague prompt. Plan a birthday party. See what you get. It might be generic. Next, write a better prompt. Suggest ideas for a kid's outdoor birthday party with games and food. Notice how the response improves. Finally, write a strong prompt. Create a checklist for a 6-year-old's backyard birthday party with 10 guests, including games, snacks, and decorations. Now compare all 3 results. Which one is most useful? This shows how clarity and detail shape AI output. Don't worry if your first attempts aren't perfect. Prompting is a skill that grows with practice. Try other tasks too. Rewrite a message in a friendlier tone, summarize a long paragraph, or explain a topic simply. Each time, reflect. Did I get what I wanted? If not, how can I adjust my prompt? This kind of active learning builds real confidence. And remember, there's no penalty for experimenting. The more you try, the better you'll get. When you're ready, let's review what we've learned. Let's review the key points you've learned today. First, an LLM is not a thinking being, it's a pattern recognizer trained on vast amounts of text. It predicts the next word like a supercharged autocomplete. Second, it learns by seeing billions of sentences, but it doesn't store facts. That means it can sound smart while being wrong, so always double-check important details. Third, LLMs work with tokens, which are small pieces of text words or parts of words. Fewer tokens often mean faster responses. Fourth, your prompt is your control knob. The clearer and more specific your input, the better the output. And finally, I can hallucinate, make up believable but false information. This isn't deception, it's just how prediction works. By remembering these 5 ideas, you're now equipped to use AI tools more wisely and effectively. You're not just a user, you're a smart operator who knows how the system works behind the scenes. Let's clear up some common myths about AI. First, no LLMs do not think or understand like humans. They don't have feelings, beliefs, or intentions. They're advanced pattern machines, not minds. Second, most LLMs don't browse the internet in real time. Unless they're connected to a live search feature, they only know what they were trained on, like a book written in 2023. So they can't tell you today's weather unless linked to a data source. Third, bigger models aren't always better. Yes, large models with billions of parameters can do impressive things, but they're slower and cost more to run. Sometimes a smaller, faster model works better for simple tasks. And fourth, LLMs can reflect biases in their training data. If most of the text they learned from contains stereotypes, the AI might repeat them. That's why it's important to use AI thoughtfully and critically. Knowing these truths helps you avoid overestimating AI and use it more responsibly. Now, let's look at where you can go from here. Congratulations, you've taken a big step in understanding AI, but your learning doesn't have to stop here. If you enjoyed this, consider diving deeper. One great next step is prompt engineering, learning how to craft the best inputs to get reliable, creative outputs. It's like becoming a skilled driver instead of just a passenger. You can also explore how neural networks work, the technology that lets AI learn from data. It's more approachable than you might think. Related topics like natural language processing and machine learning open even more doors. And don't forget community. Join forums like Reddit's R Artificial Intelligence or AI literacy groups to exchange ideas and tips. Many free tools like Google Bard, Hugging Face, or OpenAI's Playground let you experiment at no cost. The key is to keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, you don't need to be a coder to be AI smart. With each prompt you write, you're building real expertise. Thank you for learning with us today. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep growing. Let's pause for a quick self-check. Ask yourself, can I explain what an LLM is without using jargon? Can I describe how it learns from patterns, not facts? Do I understand why I might confidently give a wrong answer? And can I write a prompt that's clear and specific? If you can answer yes to these, you're on solid ground. Try explaining LLMs to a friend in 1 minute. Use simple words, no tech terms. That's the best test of real understanding. If you get stuck, that's okay. Go back to the slides or try the practice exercises again. Learning takes time. The important thing is that you're building awareness and skills that will serve you in school, work, and daily life. Every expert was once a beginner, and today you took a meaningful step forward. Let's do one final review. Remember these 5 key ideas. 1, an LL is a pattern-based text predictor, not a thinker. 2, its knowledge comes entirely from training data, mostly written before 2024. 3, it processes language in tokens, so shorter inputs can mean faster results. 4, your prompt is your steering wheel, clear instructions lead to better answers. And 5, can hallucinate, so never trust it blindly, especially with facts. Keep these in mind and you'll avoid common pitfalls. Print them out, save them, or repeat them aloud. The goal isn't to memorize perfectly, but to build a mental model that helps you use AI wisely. You now know more than most people about how these tools work. That puts you in a powerful position to use AI not just as a user, but as an informed, critical thinker. Thank you for completing a I Keywords Fast Track LL. You've come a long way from wondering what an LLM is to understanding how it works, where it excels, and where it falls short. You now have the basics to use AI tools more effectively, write better prompts, and avoid common mistakes. More importantly, you've built a mindset of curiosity and critical thinking. That's the real superpower. As AI becomes part of more apps and services, your ability to use it wisely will only grow in value. So keep practicing. Try one new prompt every day. Share what you learn with others. And remember, the best AI users aren't the ones who trust it completely. They're the ones who understand it deeply. Thanks again for learning with us. Until next time, stay smart, stay safe, and keep exploring the future one prompt at a time.